I've always wanted to finish The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but I could never find the Kakira sword when playing on my dad's Wii. Because of this, I didn't play the game for about 2 years. When my 13th birthday finally came around, I asked my dad to get me the game for my 3DS. As soon as I discovered the Sheikah Stone and found the sword, I loved the game. I beat the game with 16 hearts, 3 bottles, and most of the gold Scotulas. I unlocked Master Quest and immediately started playing it. I got to the point where Zelda and Impa are escaping on a horse, and Zelda throws me the Ocarina of Time. I didn't notice it then, but Ganondorf didn't ride by on his horse. I walked over to the water, dove down to get the Ocarina, and got on the drawbridge. That's when it happened. Ganondorf ran by on his horse, taking the Ocarina of Time and the 3 spiritual stones from me. He sent a bolt of energy at me, sending me flying backwards. It showed Link lying there, clothes torn and his mouth dripping blood. I know Master Quest is a little different than the regular quest, but I knew that the only blood I've ever shown is Ganondorf's. Next scene was Ganon. I'll just call him that from now on. Blasting Zelda's horse, turning it to bones. Ganon grabbed Zelda, killed Impa, and brought Zelda back over to me. She was crying her eyes out. Ganon held her by the throat and said to both of us, "You will not thwart my plans again, children. I learned from my mistakes. The mirroring of this land has given me a second chance, and now I will destroy Hyrule." He tied a rope around Zelda's neck and dragged her into Hyrule Town behind his horse, her screaming and leaving a trail of blood behind. I was finally able to control Link again, but it was stuck in first-person view and there was blood on the screen like in Call of Duty. I was able to walk slowly, so I tried to get away. But Navi just said, "We need to save the princess from that horrible man. We can't just leave her there." I know by now I should have already taken the game out, melted it, and thrown the remains in a fire, but I went into Hyrule Town. As soon as I entered the place with the one guard, I looked over at where the guard should be. All that was left was a rotting corpse. I tried to go into the room, but text popped up saying, "There is the smell of death coming from the room. You probably shouldn't open it. Go in anyway?" It gave me the options yes and no. I stupidly said yes. I walked in the room and there were the rotting corpses of guards everywhere. I thought I could smell them, and then I realized something. I could smell them. I immediately left the room and headed into the marketplace. Everyone was dead. The mob of people, the old lady, the late guy, even the couple that really need to get a room. At least now they can be together forever. I ran to the Temple of Time. I went inside and I saw Zelda's body decapitated and burned to a crisp. Link automatically ran over to her, tears streaming across his face. He looked up and the doors of time were open. He ran in and saw Ganon holding the Triforce, the whole thing. It should have been split up as soon as he touched it. Link ran up, but there was a force field around Ganon. "Foolish boy," he said. "Now nothing can stop me." He grabbed the Master Sword, ripped it from its pedestal, which should have been impossible, and shattered it. He turned toward me and he pulled Navi to him. He held her and then crushed her, blood and golden light spilling on the floor. I threw up. He then pulled Link towards him and blasted his head off his body. The screen cut to saying, "Game over. Ganon destroyed Hyrule." It then showed the Kakira forest burning. Everybody was dead. I realized that my 3DS was heating up. It then occurred to me to turn it off. I took the game out, but when I looked at it, the cover was gone. I just stared at it. When I put it back in, it said there was nothing in the slot. I immediately threw it away. A few days later, I went to play Majora's Mask on my Wii. I loaded it up, but when I went into my file, an error popped up saying, "Due to Ganondorf destroying Hyrule and Link dying, the events of this game never happened. The game will be deleted from your system." I was brought back to the Wii menu. I went over to find Majora's Mask, but it was gone. I haven't played another Zelda game since. I tried to tell my friends about what happened, but they didn't believe me. I told my parents, but my dad said he never got me Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. I lay awake at night wondering what had happened that day. Why, and more importantly, how this happened. I don't think I'll ever know.